Hello everybody, welcome back. It is Connor here and we are back with another One Leeds video. I hope you're all doing fantastically well during this World Cup period. Are you enjoying it? Who are you following? There's Australian fans here, there's American fans here, there's English fans, there's Irish, there's Welsh. Irish fans, I apologise, you're not in it. Listen, I apologise, of course I do. You know, I have got a lot of Irish background in me and I am gutted that the Irish aren't there, but I know a lot of you out there are followers of One Leeds and are Irish. The demographic is huge. So maybe next time, everybody. But listen, we're back here with a little bit of Leeds United news. Your World Cup show is coming out tomorrow. Got over 10,000 views, which was staggering. Thank you so much. It was an hour and 10 minutes altogether. I chopped a bit of it down with myself and Gabe. Gabe is a new member of the channel. You'll be seeing a lot more of Gabe, which is fantastic. You guys are really enjoying it, which is also fantastic. And he will be staying on for more Leeds United content, potentially with myself and Brownie. So exciting times around the corner. Okay, why am I here today? Well, I'm not here to wax lyrical about Tyler Adams, who got man of the match. I'm not here to wax lyrical about Brendan Aronson, who I thought did exceptionally well as well when he came on for the USA against Wales, opening up quite a bit of space. And I'm going to get into the intricacies of both those players tomorrow with Gabe on the World Cup Leeds show, which we will be recording. It should be out tomorrow night. Especially, I've been watching as well today, obviously all the World Cup games, and it's been fantastic to see Rasmus Christensen. I thought he put in a great performance. Obviously, there's a back three of Denmark, which gives him a little bit more licence to move forward. We're going to be discussing that. Dan James is still a Leeds United player, taken off at half-time against the US, which we'll get into, and bears absolutely no surprise. But yeah, what am I here for mainly today, everybody? Well, it's transfer news, and it is a bit of news regarding Leeds United. Now, Dean Jones, who I follow on Twitter, normally churns out quite a bit of Leeds United content. I think some of it is pretty decent commentary from Dean as well. I think he's pretty decent when it comes to churning stuff out. So he's discussing Leeds United's transfer plans, and he's saying that ahead of a transfer window, apparently Leeds United is set to make a move for two attackers. And it's not only Dean who's been saying this and who has been reporting these two, which is interesting. I've seen a couple of other publications, but a recent report from TYC Sports state that March may swoop for a player applying his trade in his home country, as MLS forward Sebastian Druisi is believed to be on his radar. Now, everybody, there's a lot of American fans here. I'd be absolutely fascinated to hear what you guys think on Druisi, I believe it's pronounced. I apologise if it's not. Let me know in the section below. But yeah, striker nonetheless, which is something that Leeds United desperately need, obviously with Patrick Bamford being consistently on the injury table, consistently being unreliable, and Leeds consistently struggling in that department. So let me know, even if you're not from the States, exactly what you think about this guy. And should Leeds be going for an MLS striker? There was obviously a lot of talk about Leeds in the summer going for MLS strikers. Leeds fans, especially when we're talking about Valentino Castellanos, I should say, were not really convinced, and I could understand that, to be quite honest with you. Apparently he had all the tendencies that would fit into a Jesse Marsch system, but when you are playing your trade in the MLS, it can be very, very different to come over to the Premier League. But there's one man at the minute in the Premier League who is lighting it up, who obviously came from over there, in terms of Miguel Almiron, who's flying in the Premier League at the minute. So yeah, definitely an interesting one there. Is it worth him coming in the summer? Is it worth him coming in the winter window? Obviously he will have to hit the ground running, but if he is fitting the profile that is that Leeds United striker that we desperately need at the minute, then why not? You know, why not? And why not have two strikers who are a little bit more different? You know, they're able to complement each other well. And that, I think that could see Leeds in very good stead. And another option in attack, which I've seen over the last couple of days, we have to discuss, is Noah Lang, who currently turns out for Club Brugge, obviously, like we know. Apparently Leeds are going to be in the race for the forward. Now, this wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't. We saw Gakpo score yesterday. Apparently Radrazan in the summer. We're talking about, apparently we're going back in for Cody Gakpo in the January window. Well, let's see if we do, eh? Let's see if we go in for Gakpo, because he is not coming to Leeds United. He is better than Leeds United. So yeah, sorry for all the Leeds fans who maybe think that we are better than we are, but a top player like that is not coming to Leeds. And that's why I always talk about expectations. And mine are actually quite high based on what the chairman said, but the chairman doesn't deliver He gives his projections of where he wants Leeds to finish, but then he doesn't deliver and give the manager the tools, which is a big problem. So Gakpo, I don't know if they're going to be churning out on social media that they're going to be going for him for 30 days. I'm presuming we're going to hear things like that from journalists who are close to Leeds United, who get spoon-fed information from the chairman and the recruitment, because, they want to be seen as if they're doing things that, the fans are going to be really happy with. I'm sure we're going to be churning out loads of that content on the Room Mill and discussing that. And that's what I like to do on the Room Mill. It's not just to blanket out statements and copy other people's stuff. It is to come on here and give my opinion on what's going on at Leeds United, my opinion on the structure, and to give my opinion on exactly where Leeds United will finish, depending on what they do in the window. Now, apparently, Jones has also highlighted Boulaye Dia as a potential option. Now, obviously, Dia plays for Senegal. He played the other night against the Netherlands, I believe, but I might be shot down for that. I only caught the last half of that, but I believe he was playing. If you guys absolutely slam me down for that, I will expect that, and apologies if I've got that one wrong. But apparently, according to this report in the World Cup, Gazzetta dello Sport have previously stated that Salernitana may choose to auction the striker when his loan deal from Villarreal becomes permanent in the summer. So once again, we don't know much about these two attackers. You guys might know a lot about these two attackers. I don't know that much. Now, when we come to Noah Lang, obviously we know a lot about Noah Lang because he's in the European sphere. He's at the very top, the upper echelon of the European sphere when it comes to prodigies coming through. So, and as I've said, just touching back on Noah Lang, I wouldn't be surprised if we went for him. I really wouldn't. He's at Club Brugge at the minute. We know Leeds' targets in the past have been from Matthias Cunha to Rodrigo de Paul to Cody Gakpo, for all these players who are the top of the European list. Even with Leeds, where we are at the minute, the board seem to think that we can attract these sorts of players, which naturally we can't. Charles de Ketelaere, another one. So hopefully this winter and summer, as I've mentioned several times, Leeds are actually going to have blueprints in place. We're actually going to have an option B and an option C. So if it is players like Noah Lang, if it is Dia, if it is Juisi, then whatever, at least you've got a little bit of a tier list there of who you're going to go in for, and you've got options, not just one player who you're going to chase for the entire 30 days. Obviously, Rafael Guerreiro consistently keeps coming up for the left-back option. Obviously, at Dortmund at the minute, it looks like he's going to be leaving Dortmund at some point very, very soon. So, yeah, better keep an eye on that one. So they're the transfers in, guys. But another interesting one today, Matthias Klick, apparently extremely disappointed to not be included in the Poland squad. And apparently, he wants to get his number back in that side. 32 years of age, obviously, Matthias Klick. Contract runs out very, very soon at Leeds United. Yes, please. Thank you for your service. Nearly 200 games for Leeds United, which is quite staggering. But goodbye. Thank you for your service. And if we do that, go out and bring another midfielder in and go out and upgrade Leeds United. Go out and upgrade. Don't leave it and don't just think to yourselves, I tell you what, we've got Forshaw. We've got JB. Not saying that I don't rate JB, by the way. Not at all. But let's not rely. Let's not rest on our laurels. Let's not do that. Let's go out and be an ambitious club. We've got the San Francisco 49ers who are apparently looking to elevate and bring forward their interest in taking over the club from 2024 to 2023, and are talking about serious investment. If that is the case, let's get them on board earlier on. Let's get some investment into this side and let's bring in a proper midfielder. I'm not talking about spending 25, 30 million, which a lot of fans seem to think you need to do to be able to get a good midfielder. Not at all. Look at all the talent on show at the World Cup here. Look at all the talent on show. A name that we're going to speak about, obviously, on the World Cup Leeds show is Musa. Musa for the USA, who's a 19-year-old, I believe he's at Valencia. What a player. What a player. Excellent ball carrier. Fantastic balance. Great strength. A real player. And these are the gems that you can pick up at the World Cup, and only 19 years of age. What a player he was. Was so impressed by him. People talking about McKennie and all that. McKennie's not for me. Not for me. When you've got someone like Musa next to him who's next level and about 10 years, well, he's not 10 years younger, is he? I think he's about 3 or 4 or 5 years younger, but looks like a much better player, much better talent. But yeah, there are players there, everybody, that are on the world stage. They're on the world stage now that you can 100% go out and get, and that it doesn't have to be for 20, 25 million. Obviously, the premium's going to be higher because Leeds decided to wait and decided to not properly invest in the past 2-3 transfer windows. So clubs are going to see Leeds come in. However, we can get these deals done, and they have to get these deals done, or Leeds United are going to be staring relegation right in the face. Trust me on that one. So yeah, we've got a lot to do, but the business can be done positively, because you guys are always asking me for a positive spin. If we do get these deals done, Leeds United can be looking at a completely different projection, a completely different scenario going into the January/February months, because the realism is of it, everybody. If you go and look at all the fixtures of the teams below us right now, they are more preferable, they are more beneficial than Leeds United coming back and facing Manchester City and Newcastle. They are not good fixtures for Leeds United, and we are 2 points off the relegation zone. So there is a likelihood that Leeds go into January in the relegation zone. Sorry if that smacks the ego. Sorry if that just burst the positivity bubble, but that's realism, unfortunately. So I'm not saying that we're not going to be able to go to Newcastle and get something. I'm not saying that we can't do anything against Manchester City. It's highly unlikely against them both, but you can bulletproof that situation by having plans in place for the January window. If Matty's click is to go, absolutely fine. Apparently there's a whole host of clubs looking at him. They can probably get him for a cheap fee. He's had nearly 200 appearances. He's had so many appearances in the Premier League as well. So his CV will be very, very good, but he's not good enough anymore for Leeds United. So Leeds, even though we're looking at these, we should be looking at a left back. We should be looking at, if it's two options up top, fantastic. Fantastic, because Joe Gelhardt cannot stay fit. Patrick Bamford's never going to be fit again, it looks like. So if we can get a left back, two attackers and a central midfielder in, completely different complexion for Leeds United. Guys, we are going to be back with World Cup Leeds tomorrow. Make sure you stay tuned for that one. I hope you're enjoying all the World Cup and all the One Leeds content. We'll be back probably tomorrow and the day after, actually, and the day after, with some more content to keep you updated during this barren period. Have a good one, guys. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Sign up to the Patreon as well if you want some bonus content. I'll see you in a bit.